Hello and welcome to Black Box Trading Bots. Here on the channel, we're going to take a look at the crypto market as a whole. I want to focus on Bitcoin. We just got a weekly close on the Bitcoin chart, so we're going to take a look at how that poises us and how that sets us up for a bias with the week forwards. And then we're going to take a look at the altcoins. Altcoins got decimated this week, absolutely decimated this week. So we're going to go over that as well and see what we can see in this market. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the king of all crypto, and that is Bitcoin. Starting off on the weekly. Why? Because we just had a weekly close. This 30K level is still really serious resistance, and we're grinding to the downside, getting lower and lower away from that. If we take a look over here, this candle just closed. We actually had a breakdown candle confirming on the weekly chart outside of the consolidation. So the most bullish thing that I could point to right now is probably a retest up to 26.6, 26.7. But this is a very bearish thing. Now, we've been bearish on Bitcoin for a while now, basically since alphanumerics flipped red back in May, mid-May, May 23rd. No, the 1st of May. Since the beginning of May, we've been bearish on Bitcoin. And it's been the trade. That's been the play. A lot of people expected to break out of this level. And honestly, so did I. I kind of thought we were going to break it as well. But you don't, when you have a plan and a trading plan and a strategy, you have to follow it. And I'm glad I did, because we're breaking down below this consolidation. Let's take a look at the structure here on the on the daily. Daily, it's a really clean distribution. I'm actually just going to go over into the Discord and grab a copy of the distribution. Bear with me just a moment. Copy image, paste image, and you can see, can we move that behind? Is it possible to get it behind the candles? Anyways, there's a lot of comparison. There's a lot of similarity that you can see. And right now we're in phase E. We have the breakdown of this consolidation. Let me make that a little bit smaller. Make this a little bit bigger. Failed range, up thrust after distribution, last point of supply, finally breaking down out of the range, confirming the distribution, breaking the neckline. So where do we head from here? Honestly, I think we're probably going to go to 23, 22, maybe even get below 20,000 this week. So do be mentally prepared for that. That's what I'm seeing here for the price of Bitcoin. The daily close still hasn't broken below this level right here, but the weekly time frame is a much more important time frame to take a look at, and that's a clear break out of the structure down there. Now, let's take a look at some altcoins. Altcoins had some pretty serious pullbacks this week. Litecoin back down to the $75 range, back inside of the Wyckoff trading range, not where you want to see it. It's about 30% down from the local high. Let's take a look at Solana. That's one we haven't taken a look at it in a while. Solana also down to about 15 bucks. Likely going to go for a double bottom here on Solana, so I wouldn't be surprised to see it back down to $8 by the time this reaction has concluded. What's another one? Cardano USD. Cardano. Ooh, man, Cardano's getting slaughtered here. Cardano's getting slaughtered. I can't believe how far it fell. So Cardano's already like taken out the low, which is interesting to see that the local low here at around 20 cents. What is that? What's the low? 23 cents was taken out, and we have a new low of 22 cents here on the price of Cardano. So Cardano is not looking good at all. A lot of people are paper handing that one. So what's going on is the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, has deemed many securities, many cryptocurrencies to be securities, and a lot of exchanges are taking are taking precautionary measures and are delisting some of those ones that are going to be considered securities. So yeah, a lot of things are leaving the market, which is, in my opinion, a good thing. To those that think that these projects are decentralized and that these projects are actually good, then I don't know. The market's a great teacher. You got to listen sometimes. Okay, let's take a look at Matic was another one that got absolutely destroyed. Not nearly as much as Cardano, but Matic, I wouldn't be surprised to see it back down at these lows. Back here, pin the low. Something about 36 cents. Another one that I do not like is BNB. So BNB, the lows right here. This is a pretty interesting chart. I actually have quite a bearish thesis. I have quite a bearish outlook on the BNB token in general. I think that Binance could fail. I mean, that's not based off of anything other than this chart. And why I'm saying that, let me actually show you why I'm saying that. Is it has to do with the strength of BNB token compared to Bitcoin. So if we just go over here for a moment, let me just focus on BNB. And we do a measured move from the all-time high down to the local low. 73% drawdown, so not nothing. And then if we do the same thing, taking a look at Bitcoin, from the all-time high to the local low, 77. Now, never before has there ever been an altcoin, ever, that has had less of a drawdown than Bitcoin. And I just don't think that this is because BNB is special, okay? I don't think that this is because Binance Coin is a better project that just doesn't receive downturns. I think that that's a silly thing to think. What's more likely happening here is Binance Coin is being manipulated and it's being propped up and it's being defended, and it has liquidity from the exchange being funneled into as buy pressure on Binance Coin. Now, if there is an increased amount of regulatory scrutiny that will go towards Binance as a result of, securities investigations, that might cause them to start behaving a little bit more honestly and not start moving liquidity and buying things up. Now, I just want to say, this is conspiracy theory stuff. This is tinfoil hat stuff. This is just a theory. But if the market, the market's always right. And if you manipulate the market, eventually it's going to come and bite you in the ass. It needs to have a 90% drawdown like all the other altcoins, a 90% plus drawdown. That would be the fair market value, which would bring it down to what I think is a very reasonable level, because this is where we broke out in the previous cycle, previous all-time high breakout, would be $48. $48 for the price of BNB. Okay, so that's a little bit of technical analysis. That's a little bit of fundamental theory, but ultimately, not a fan of BNB. And I think that there is some very fishy activity going on with that token. Not financial advice. You can totally disagree with me if you wish. Let's take a look at some of the traditional finance. Now, TradFi is doing great. TradFi is doing great. If you're a stock trader, you're in the right market right now. You have a lot of liquidity heading over to stocks as other markets are not performing as dependable as what you're seeing in the equities market. So the S&P broke past a resistance. It might come back down for a retest, but we have reclaimed a resistance. It is now holding as support, trending in the right direction. Taking a look at the NASDAQ, similar story, just exacerbated. You have larger move past the resistance. We have probably a little ways down to get some support, but we have a lot of area where the buyers can step in and the bulls can step in. So equities are looking really, really good. Gold up against a resistance, kind of getting a triple top at this point. So I wouldn't be surprised at all for us to get a rejection back down to about $1,800. It has a lot of price action in around $1,800. A rally in stocks will likely cause a reaction in gold as the market goes back to risk on. And that would also cause the dollar to fall. Or no, sorry, the dollar to rise. Dollar rise, dollar fall. What does the dollar do when stocks are bullish? Dollar falls, money's cheap. So basically just watching this level right here. If we get a breakout of this level, then we're probably going to get a lack of performance market-wide in traditional finance. But if this continues to fall, then you're going to have stocks going up. Nobody wants to chat. My foot's falling asleep. All right. XRP. XRP is actually holding its own. Not going to lie. I hate this project. I think it's one of the dumbest coins in the market. It has a lot of people fooled into thinking that cross-border payments are something that is special when literally every single cryptocurrency can do it. But hey, you can't argue with results. You can't argue with the results. This is holding itself up. I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe just volume is very, very low overall, and anybody that's in it is just holding. Let's take a look at the volume here. Yeah, I mean, it's not out of the ordinary volume. It's been pretty much dead volume since the bull market ended. So at least here on Binance, it's not showing anything uncharacteristic. But we do have this serious resistance that we do need to contend with right here. Yeah, we'll call it right there. So still butt up against resistance. What you want to see from XRP is we need to reclaim this, hold it as support. If we can do that, then boom, we're off to the races, and you really don't have anything in your way until you get to $1. Honestly, there's nothing holding it back once it gets past that point. What's another project we can take a quick look at? If I run out of tickers, I'll just cut the stream off short. ARB took a beating. Arbitrum, absolute beating. Looks like it's turning into redistribution, heading down to a new level below $1 right now. It's probably going to head down to lower levels. This is one that I was monitoring to take profits on. Got some of the airdrop. Now it's too low. I'll just wait for it to come back. Mutable X right back down to support as well. Nobody cares about these projects too much. What's some hypey stuff I've been hearing about? Let's take a look at Pepe. Pepe, it's down bad. Pepe. Avalanche. Yeah, we can take a look at Avalanche. Pepe, as soon as it got listed. You know, this is actually a very educational chart that we can talk about here. Meme coins, shit coins, degenerate garbage coins that are clearly no value. They're not even attempting to have value. A meme coin is never claiming to have value. It's all about... It's a game of musical chairs. Who gets in last? Who gets in last? And I can tell you, if you're new, a lot of people get really hyped about centralized exchange listings they're the worst thing. That's not what you want at all. As soon as your shitcoin is listed on an exchange, boom, it's done. It's done. It's exit liquidity at that point. You have taken an illiquid, shitty, dangerous market with, minor extractable value and all this bot activity, and then you've given the whales of this project a platform that is just so much better. The centralized platforms are better. They're more liquid. So now you give them a place to sell. They're going to use it. And that's exactly what happens. Even worse if you have derivatives where you can short it. Let's take a look at Avalanche. Yeah, still ranging. Still downtrend. I don't know if Avalanche ever fucking does anything. I don't really see the point in Avalanche anymore. Now that you have Arbitrum, Optimism, all these other Ethereum layer 2, actual layer 2s. Remember, in the early days of Ethereum, in Ethereum DeFi, you had side chains. So Matic is a side chain, Avalanche is a side chain, Phantom is a side chain, and they're all Ethereum compatible. But now we have so much layer 2 infrastructure, which means layer 2 it's a secondary layer where they tally up all the transactions and then they bundle it up into one transaction and they post that transaction to the Ethereum network. Side chains, they're different blockchains. They operate separately and you can bridge back and forth, but they're their own things with their own consensus mechanisms and they're less secure. With Ethereum, you can have a roll up or you can have, a lot of like Arbitrum's a roll up, Optimism is a roll up project. And you take thousands of transactions and you roll them up into one and then you post it to Ethereum. So the security with some of these layer 2 solutions is much, much better. So it'll be interesting to see how much attention some of these sidechain projects actually get. Historically speaking, every cycle, it seems we're getting more and more data every cycle, right? What we saw last cycle is a lot of the altcoins that were from the cycle prior didn't even make it to a new all-time high. Litecoin is a good example. Let's take a look at Litecoin USD. Let's go to the weekly. Litecoin, here was the 2017 cycle. And here was the 2021 cycle. It barely got above its previous all-time high. So if we go back to Avalanche, depending on what Bitcoin is doing at the time, you might get to the all-time high, which, that's nothing to shake a stick at. It's a fantastic return. But I wouldn't anticipate much more than that. I don't think that Avalanche has the fundamentals backing it to allow it to be a long-lasting project. But, hell, that's still 1,200%. That's a good gain regardless. So I certainly wouldn't, if you held through all of this, I certainly wouldn't be selling here. That's the worst thing that you can do. If you held on through all of this, don't fucking sell here. Like, you've already lost so much value here. What are you doing trying to sell here? We can say that this is probably not going anywhere long term, but that doesn't mean that you fucking sell it. It's at too much of a loss rate. You're already on like the wrong side of the trade. So I think there's a new setup here. We have an accumulation range, and the new setup would be, trying to get somewhere up to the previous all-time high. So don't sell it now. Not financial advice. Got to say that every time. Hex is an interesting one. Okay. If you've been watching the channel for a while, we've actually broken down the Hex scam in the private group. It manipulates some smart contract infrastructure, which allows it to pump more than it should, which sounds like a great thing, but that exact same feature to the smart contract has the inverse effect as well. So you can make it dump incredibly fast and violently. But there's a very interesting thing that's happening right now. There is Hex on the Ethereum chain, and there is Hex on Pulse chain. Pulse chain is Richard Hart's copy pasta of the Ethereum network. And right now, there is no bridge. There's no bridge between the two protocols, which is fucking wild. Like bonkers. What a joke. What a joke. Like Richard Hart should have had the bridge open before Pulse Chain started. Why he didn't is beyond me. It's not beyond me. It's he's a scammer. He knows that the people who are buying this project are not financially intelligent. He knows that they don't understand market dynamics, liquidity, order books, liquidity pools, how price is decided on the Ethereum network. He knows all that. But there is, for those who are a little bit more savvy, there's an opportunity here, because that bridge is how you equalize price between two places, right? If you have a bridge over to Avalanche, you're going to have Ethereum on the Ethereum network, and you're going to have Ethereum on Avalanche. Why do those stay the same price? They stay the same price because there's a bridge. So if one Ethereum gets too high, they take the expensive Ethereum, move it over to the other chain where it's cheaper, and sell it there, or vice versa. If it gets too high, they sell it. Yes, the price is higher over here. Take the cheap Ethereum, sell it for the expensive Ethereum, and then the prices equalize. Okay, it's called arbitrage, and it is essential for healthy price. So as it stands right now, you have two completely different networks that don't have a bridge. As soon as that bridge is open, the moment that the Pulse chain bridge is open to Ethereum, this price is going to correct. And what I mean by correct, it's going to head back to the upside. This is not an endorsement for Hex. I'm just, for those who have an appetite for risk or are looking for potential arbitrage opportunities, you don't usually get too many arbitrage opportunities unless you're using high frequency trading bots. This is a arbitrage opportunity. This is underpriced Hex. But I also want to make it very clear that we've been calling this a scam for a while, because it is. This is a scam. So if you touch this coin and you start to fall for the fundamentals, just don't. Just don't do that. Please don't do that. This is a scam, and you will lose all your money if you invest in Hex long term. Short term, there is an arbitrage opportunity. That's it. We'll just leave it at that. All right. So for those who are unaware, I just want to draw your attention actually to the new project, blackbox.pro. Never miss a move again. So this is Matt and I's new project. We've been teaching alphanumerics for years. A lot of people don't follow the signals. So now we have a bot so that you don't need to follow the signals. You can simply connect Blackbox to your exchange and it will trade Bitcoin for you. Currently only supporting Bitcoin, currently only supporting BitGet exchange, but more coins and more exchanges are to come. And when I say currently support, I mean the bot's not actually firing yet. We're still in the alpha stage. So if you guys want to be included in the early access beta testing for Blackbox, you just got to sign up for a free account, put your email in, create a password, and you'll be on you'll be one of the first people to use Blackbox once it is ready to go. Traditionally, history doesn't have to repeat itself, but it's outperformed Bitcoin over the last 4 years by nearly 2,000%. That's 2,000% more than Bitcoin. Okay, so it's a good strategy. I'm not saying that it'll do that again, not necessarily. There are diminishing returns on Bitcoin, but it certainly does a lot better than hodling Bitcoin. So yeah, if you guys are interested, sign up for your free bot, and we'll see you in the group. All right, back to the trades. What else do we got? Let's take a look. Dash, Doge. Doge is a coin. Doge back down to the lows. Let's go to a longer chart, actually. Back down to the lows. I mean, it's bottoming. It's bottoming out here. Certainly not volatile. It's rounding out. It's bottoming. So if you care about this stupid meme coin, if you think Elon Musk is going to pump it again, then it doesn't look too shabby at this point as an accumulation play. Monero. Haven't taken a look at Monero in a while. See, Monero's another one. Barely got past its all-time high. Had a huge cycle in 2017, 2021, barely got past. I'm expecting this kind of performance for a lot of other coins. So the Matics, the Solanas, the what's another one that was super popular? Avalanche. You know, a lot of the coins that came out in the 2020, 2021 cycle, even 2019, like the previous cycle, if they came out of the bear market of the previous cycle or the bull market of the previous cycle, I think they're going to do this. I think they're barely going to make it to their all-time highs. Not a popular opinion, but those usually come from people who don't have a ton of hours on deck here with cryptocurrency. Blockchain, it's not as needed as everybody thinks. It's incredibly powerful. It's incredibly profound. It is going to change the way that we interact as humans, but you don't need a blockchain for every little thing. And I think that 99.9% of the projects are going to go to fucking zero. But they're not going to go to zero right away. They'll rally up to an all-time high, and then they'll rally to half of that the next cycle, and half of that to the next cycle, and it'll take a long time before these things disappear. But yeah, don't think they're going to last too long. What's another one? Let's take a look at Uni. Do we even bother with Uni? Do we care about Uni? Let's take a look at something a little bit newer. DYDX, the centralized decentralized exchange. Super easy. If you care about DYDX, you buy down here. So we're pretty much there. It's a good accumulation zone for DYDX. GMX. Yes. This one was a little bit frustrating for me because I just didn't like, as soon as it launched, it went up and it wasn't worth what people were paying for it. I want to see this below $20. Its low here on this chart is 25. I want to see it lower than that. GMX on Binance. Yeah, this is the place to buy. Down here below $20. That's what you want for GMX. I think it's a cool project. This is layer 2 scaling for Ethereum. And it's going to be a derivatives exchange. People love futures contracts. Optimism, same thing, just nuking down. All right, well, you know what? Instead of looking at all of these altcoins, I think there's a very important chart to make note of, and it's Bitcoin dominance, okay? When this chart is rallying, the last thing you want to be in is an altcoin. You do not want to be an altcoin trader when you are seeing green candles on this chart. And we just broke out of a major resistance, multi-month resistance here. This resistance point right here, okay? This area right here. We just broke out. We have not been above this level for 777 days. 777 days. We have not been above this level. This is a very interesting time. This is the part of the bear market that really tests people. What I think is very plausible is Bitcoin comes down here, finds support at around 20, 22, 23, and just starts trading sideways for a few months. Maybe we finish off the year trading sideways. I'm not sure. But Bitcoin's going to hold its own. It's going to hold its levels. And a lot of altcoins are just not. They're not. I wouldn't be surprised if, XRP ends up dwindling back down to the lows, just remaining range bound. Wouldn't be surprised to see BNB just nuke right where it belongs, down at $50. Because I think that Bitcoin's going to do a move down. And that move down is going to equate to real capitulation of alts. So this happens. If your alt portfolio, I don't know. I don't want to talk about portfolios right now, especially if you didn't sell back at the back when Bitcoin was up at around 45K. If you didn't sell at those levels, let's not talk about your portfolios right now. But what I can say with a high degree of confidence is this shit is secular. Nearly like clockwork. They don't match exactly. You're not going to get every rally and reaction matching perfectly. But on a time-based scale, you have a very cyclical market. This is going to come back. It's going to come back probably bigger and better than ever. But it's going to take time. And I'm not anticipating that we see a highly accelerated price market in cryptocurrency until 2025. We're still in 2023. So we've got to finish this year. I think by Q2 of next year, you're going to see a really established uptrend, and you're going to see a lot of innovation in the space, and you're going to see a lot of new liquidity coming in and experimenting. And then you go into a full-blown hype cycle in 2025. That's what I'm anticipating. So I don't know. Hang in there. That is all the time I got for today. If you guys enjoyed this content, please leave it a like. Don't forget to subscribe or follow along on Twitch. If you are looking for a free and easy to use Bitcoin trading bot to help with your DCA strategy, take a look at the links below, blackbox.pro, blkbox.pro, and sign up for the pre-release coming up in a few weeks. I think July 10th is our target for the bot to be released. We're doing a live. We will see you on the next one. Have a good one. Trade safe. Peace.